Hi, I'm Kate Hudson.
And my name is Oliver Hudson.
We wanted to do something that highlighted our relationship.
And what it's like to be siblings. We are a sibling revelry.
No.
Sibling revelry.
Don't do that with your mouth.
Sibling revelry.
That's good.
Oliver, you know what's so crazy about when we're airing this episode is that it marks literally a year from lockdown, from quarantine. It was like
our last in-person interview.
Right.
Yeah.
It was Fortune and
yeah.
Price. Then I guess a couple weeks later, right, or something, we went into
That was
lockdown.
it. Yeah, because Bodhi's birthday,
So crazy.
My middle kid, 10 days after this, March 19th, and we did not have a birthday party because of
and you're
COVID-19.
And Bodhi's so cool. He was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, he's like, it's good. It's fine. And by the way, Bodhi's it's March 19th is coming up. He'll be a 2-birthday COVID kid. I can't wait for everyone to be vaccinated. I just can't wait to be sitting in your study with the siblings across from us, like we drinking a glass of wine or a tequila or a spritzer, whatever it is.
We used to get like wasted.
Yeah, we had like drinking sessions that were fun, and I can't wait.
I'm just kidding. We never got wasted. I wouldn't be able to do interviews wasted.
Never been more excited for a vaccination in my whole life. I'm getting ready. I just need someone to put it in my arm or in my butt.
I'm excited that people who have been really like having a hard time getting out into the world and reintegrating because, jobs and things like haven't been hiring. I'm just excited that people are going to start to go back to work. That's going to be so great. Yeah, you can kind of feel the light at the end of the tunnel, can't you? You can sort of feel it, and then you just don't want to get despondent. Is that the right word?
I don't know if that one worked.
I think despondent.
Despondent.
Hold on. Hey, Siri.
I think.
What's the definition of despondent?
I think that might work.
It's a state.
Feeling or
it's a
discouragement.
Yeah.
Feeling.
Yeah, I'm right.
I think you're despondent. I'm not sure it's the right word. It's more like complacent.
Maybe complacent.
Maybe that's what you were looking for.
Yeah, complacent might be the better word.
Yeah, despondency is like a sad emotional
complacent,
state.
Isn't it? Smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements. Definitely the wrong word.
That's complacency?
Yeah.
What? You were trying to say, so don't get complacent, meaning like don't think that we're out of the woods and just go out and party.
Okay, but that's not the word. Complacent is That's not the word I was looking for.
Damn it.
The word is
Oh God.
This is good. This should be we should put this apart and say, what's the word? What's the word? Oh, what's the word?
The word. What's the word?
and then that, what's the word? Then people can write in and help our terrible vocabulary.
That's a good idea. What's the word? I like that. It's a great title for a segment.
Okay. Ollie.
Emails. Let's go. Emails. What's up with these emails? What's in your inbox?
I hope this first one isn't going to be like we're like laughing and then it's going to be something sad. But okay,
no, I know,
here we go.
Allison always gives us the sad ones.
Okay, I'm going to start. So, subject line was wow. That last episode with the Duplass brothers, of whom I was unaware, I am embarrassed to admit, was the best, capital letters. Brutal honesty from all four of you, with Oliver being especially vulnerable. If we would all own up to our own petty little jealousies and procrastination habits, the world would be a much nicer place. Thank you, from the Netherlands.
Wow. You know what's impressive about this? The entire Netherlands wrote this.
I love all of the Netherlands.
This is huge. I mean,
the Netherlands, we love you.
We love you, Netherlands. Thank you.
But it's so true. Well, honestly, that episode was so. I have to say, one of my favorites too. I think it does say a lot when you can open up and just be really honest about your stuff. It's so liberating. And
isn't it funny? There's some episodes and guests that we have on that you're working a little bit more, and then there's some that are just so easy breezy, and it just rolls. And the Duplass brothers, I just felt that. It was as if there was no mics and we were sitting in a booth and having an amazing conversation. It just rolled.
So great.
I loved it. I love those guys.
Yeah, it was so great. And I'm so glad they joined us. And I also think, we like to talk about all kinds of stuff on here and we're curious people, but really, family dynamics is just the most fascinating thing to me. I know to you too. This is just something we love. And when we get a sibling dynamic that's really juicy like that one, and they're available and open to talking about it. I mean, they wrote a whole book about it. It was just great. So
yeah, I mean, I want to work with them. I hope that they think I'm talented and they think about me, from time to time. You know what I mean?
You just did 2 songs. I think about me in time after time.
Time after time. When you're lost and you love, you will find me.
Oh, it's the best song ever.
Time after time. It is. All right.
Here you go.
I'm going to go now. Hi, Oliver, Kate, and team. First off, I want to thank you for your podcast. I'm one of 4 kids in my family, and we all have very different relationships with each other, though I consider us all to be very close. I find it interesting hearing the experiences that different sets of siblings share on your show and the research/findings that the professionals you speak with share. A lot of it is so relatable and helps me understand some of the experiences or feelings I've had with my siblings. I'm hoping I can make an episode request. Among the 4 of us kids, though I say that word lightly as we are all in our late 20s, early 30s now, I am one of 3 that are the same age. We are triplets. Wow. Ooh. My mom called us her triplet trouble. I'd love to hear an episode on triplets, either through others' experiences as triplets or maybe research or psychology on triplets, diving into their relationship with each other and their relationships with other siblings who aren't part of the set of 3. That's an interesting.
Well, we had the Property Brothers, and we have had twins.
But I love that. I'll finish. But I just love the one that is not the triplet. That's like a TV show or something. It's like you've got the triplets and then the outcast. It's not often we run into other triplets, and I'm always curious about how my experience compares to others. Why sometimes I feel so much closer to my 2 triplet brothers than I do my older sister, even though we have a lot in common, spend more time together, and are very close. Most importantly, I just really wanted to thank you for doing what you're doing. I have found it to be fascinating, relatable, and helps me reflect and better understand my relationships with my 3 amazing siblings. They are my whole world, and listening to your podcast has only helped me be a better sister to them. Fondly, Katie.
Oh, Katie, thank you. Definitely, we should look into interviewing a professional about like twins and triplets and the psychology behind those, like how interconnected they are. I mean, I know 2 sets of identical twins. It was almost like they were telepathic. They would feel each other. If they were ever traveling when they got older, they would know like when someone wasn't doing well, or they'd wake up and they'd have like almost by osmosis illnesses or not ailments.
Yeah, they could.
They'd feel their knee and their knee would hurt, and they'd call their sister and be like, "Are you okay?" And she'd be like, "Oh, I just hurt my knee so bad." Like weird stuff like that.
I just love the left out triplet, where the one that's like, "I don't feel anything, guys," and like the other 2 are super connected, but the one triplet's sort of the outcast triplet. It was like, "I don't feel," that's got to happen. Though.
I'm sure. I mean, how about that story? Remember that documentary about the triplets that were all adopted?
Yes.
There was like a social experiment.
Yes.
That was so fucked up.
That was a crazy documentary.
Yeah.
That was I forgot what that was called. That was a good one. That was like 2 years ago or last year.
It was so sad.
But it would be fun to find a set of.
I think we should do it, Allison. Allison, can you find us some triplets?
Oh my gosh.
All right. Thank you, Katie. I love that. All right. I'm next. Here we go. Hey, Kate and Oliver.
You got a long one.
I just wanted to first say I so love your podcast. I first found your show last April when I was packing my oldest daughter's belongings to send away to her. She had just been discharged from a short-term depression treatment center after having tried to take her life for the 5th time. I'm not going to be able to get through this.
No, you're crying already.
Well, I mean, Jesus, could you imagine?
I couldn't. It's horrible. It's just...
She went to live with her paternal grandparents after being discharged, with my hopes that a complete change of scenery would bring a positive change for her. It was one of the hardest decisions I've had to make, knowing that it would probably create a rift between us, which it has. She has high-functioning autism and had been struggling with depression and anxiety since she was around 9 years old. She is now 17. When things started getting really difficult a few years back, I was faced with having to give up my beloved career as a healer and meditation teacher and instead focus on keeping my daughter alive. After years of trying every possible therapy, medication, nutrition, both Western and Eastern, and her having to be hospitalized many times, as a single mom, I had run out of options. The chaos that her meltdowns brought on a daily basis was becoming evident in my other two children's well-being and had wreaked havoc on my health. Something needed to change. She's doing well now, although she refuses to speak to me, which I'm okay with if that's the cost of her being okay. Listening to your show has been like a treat I give myself when faced with some task I am struggling to get through. I put on one of your shows and the world is light and bright again, and doing something hard like packing my daughter's belongings and entrusting her grandparents to carry the torch isn't so hard. In one of your email episodes, you read a letter from a woman who wrote in about her sister who struggles with mental illness and how hard it is to have that relationship be strained. Hearing that letter helped me finally cry and grieve for the first time in a very long time. Oliver, I wanted to mention to you that my youngest, Ariel, also struggled with reading just like your daughter. In fact, she could not read until the 3rd grade, despite our trying every reading program out there. She's super smart and had already created like 5 different kid businesses by the time she was 10. She just couldn't get the reading part. But then one day something clicked and that was it. She became a reader. Mm-hmm. She's in the 8th grade now. And she can hardly remember what it was like when she couldn't read. I'm confident that with the help from school, this woman is so nice. I can't take it.
I know.
Too much. Okay. No, but it's, I just got to, I can't hardly get through this.
There's just a sweetness.
Oh, there's just yeah, it's just, okay. She's in 8th grade now, and she can hardly remember what it was like when she couldn't read. I'm confident that with the help from school and your love and encouragement, your daughter will be plowing through books in no time. I just wanted to thank you both for being so transparent and real and fun. When I listen to your podcast, it's like I'm spending time with kindred spirits. It's funny, Kate. Our sons even share the name Ryder. Thank you for all that you do to bring joy to so many with your kindness and laughter. Hugs to you both, Christine. Gosh.
People are...
I just feel like, when your kids struggle, it's just like, I couldn't imagine what that must feel like. And like she said, you all she wants is for her to be okay. And if that means that right now they have this.
It's a crazy, crazy sacrifice to make. I mean, essentially you're sacrificing the relationship with your child for their well-being. And you know, hopefully there will be recognition of that, you know, once things settle down, and hopefully they do. And, you know, once this kid comes to terms with what's been going on, there'll be a moment of thankfulness. You know, it's like, wow, I can't believe what you did for me. But I can understand. I mean, the moment that kid is probably just like, what the fuck? I mean, I just
what
think, are you doing?
I just think, you know, I've seen this in other children, and I've known people who've had kids that were young and teenagers that are, their brains are just don't allow them to feel good, to feel like they belong. And it's like, there's nothing you can do. And I've seen parents struggle when they love them so much. They do everything they can. And you just wish you could take that away from your babies. You know, it's like you want them to feel good in their skin, and you want them to feel happiness.
Mm. Well, mom said this to me a long time ago, which I just always, it rings so true for me, that you're only as happy as your most unhappy kid, you know?
Yeah.
And when you sort of relate it to something like this, the strength that has to sort of, that she has to find is unbelievable, just to be happy. I don't, when one of my kids is even just sort of not feeling great, or maybe a little bit down, I feel everything that they're feeling.
I know. And I know Christine, you know, she knows this, like, she's not alone. There are so many parents who are trying to help their children, and when they're suffering, and it's just, you know, look, it's like, I'm glad we can give you that a respite, or make you feel some joy and some light. But also know that, you know, hearing your story hits hard, and thank you for writing.
Thank you for giving me the Rio tip. You know, if you're listening to this, Christine, it's crazy you said that, because she did turn this small corner, you know, where all of a sudden, you know what it is? It's these sight words. And we've been doing these sight words thing with her, where it's like, you know, about, and that, and could, and should, where she can see them, and boom, now she's flying. She's getting it.
Good.
So
it's exciting.
And you know what? Again, it's like anything. She'll read. She'll be able to read. What we don't need to push them to read and do math and algebra by the first grade. It's like, they're gonna be able to do it in their own time. Let's take some pressure off of it.
Anyway, thank you, Christine. Sakara. Oliver, you know, this is, once again, I love it. There is a new thing they're doing. I saw it on my sponsored ads on Instagram.
Nice.
And it made me very excited. So it got me like in the mood to say, you know what? I should do a Sakara reset. I'm way overdue. It's time.
An SR, Sakara reset. Sibling Revelry, Sakara reset.
But to explain what Sakara is one of my favorite food delivery systems. They are all about plant-based foods. And it's not about imposing restrictions or limits. It's more about how you nourish your body.
I need to nourish my body.
And how you give it more of what it really needs. So they give you the full holistic approach. Amazing foods, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then they also do supplements, and they do teas. And then they have their metabolism super powder, which is very loved. Mm-hmm. They're organic, ready-to-eat meals, and they're all made with powerful plant-based ingredients. So they're designed to boost your energy, improve digestion, get your skin glowing.
Yeah, I need to get my skin glowing. I mean, if I'm being honest, the reason that I eat Sakara is to get my skin glowing, because it's like a leather bag. But as I eat more and more Sakara, I just start glowing. And right now, Sakara is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when they go to sakara.com/sibling or enter code sibling at checkout. That's Sakara, SAKARA.com/sibling to get 20% off your first order. Sakara.com/sibling.
Coors Light.
Coors Light, tap my rocket.
Oliver, Coors Light, we're tapping the Rockies once again. We love a good cold brew. As a matter of fact, I had one the other night. Yes, I did. I cracked open an actual Coors Light. Now,
An actual, not a fake one.
I love a cocktail, and every once in a while, for me, having a really cold beer is just completely where it's at. So, Coors Light, we're Colorado peeps.
Yes, I'm a Coors Light golf course guy. Drinking my Coors Light on the golf course. I take about 2 or 3 of them. I put them in the cooler, watch those mountains turn blue, and then just get my Coors Light on.
You know, it's one of those things, like Coors Light's whole thing is sometimes you just need to chill out. I mean, it's not sometimes, actually. A lot of times. We need to chill out. Hit that reset button. Everything's go, 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 go. And there's nothing better than just taking a moment, having a beer, checking in with your friends.
Well, guess what? You're in luck, Kate, because Coors Light is actually made to chill. All right? That's actually their slogan. It's made to chill. So you're in luck. The mountains on the bottles and in the cans, they turn blue when your beer is cold. It's literally made to chill. You always know when it's time to chill. I'm going to say chill again because it's a good word. Chill, 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 chill. Coors Light is the one that we choose when we need to unwind. Isn't that right, sis? So when you want to hit that reset button, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light in the new look delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. So, greetings. Fairly new listener to your podcast and became quickly obsessed. Love you both. I just finished listening to the episode with Jason and Tyler Ritter. I do a great deal of laughing and smiling through your interviews, and this wasn't so different. That is, until I came to Jason's analogy of losing his father to a book. Oh, I loved this analogy,
no,
by
it's
the way.
so great.
There are no more chapters. The book is complete. Listening to him talk through that analogy was profoundly impactful for me. I lost my 28-year-old son to suicide 4.5 years ago and have a huge piece of my soul grieving over the things that will never be for him. But listening to Jason really opened my heart to the possibility of my son's life being just like that. His book has been written. It's done. Focus on reading the book over and over and be grateful for all the chapters that made up his life. Thank you for doing what you do and having guests with so many different experiences to share with your audience. As Martha Stewart says, it's a good thing. Regards, Sherry.
Oh, I can't take it.
I know. But this is what's great about sharing your story, not only the Ritters, but even the people who are listening to you, Sherry, who just in the short email shared your loss of your 28-year-old son to suicide. This is what's great about this is everyone has a story to tell, and you're never alone. I mean, the relatability that can happen and the lessons that you can learn. And by the way, I am with you. When Jason said that was amazing. That was a totally different way to look at things and was almost mind-blowing in a way, Yeah,
it does sort of allow you to see it in a different way, sort of like, because you do have to live. Mm-hmm. And when you carry that sort of open-ended, what Jason was saying, it's sort of like you're always the expectation that it was supposed to be a different story. Mm-hmm. And yet the story is just what the story is. It's like what our therapist would say, which is like, you're not dealing with the what is. You're dealing with the expectation, everything else. Right? You gotta just, it just is what it is.
You just can't help but think, when someone goes too soon or someone passes or whatever it is, like, God damn it, what would have happened? What could have they been? Or what was their future? But that's projection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The book has ended. That's the last chapter.
The thing is, for me, it's like, this depression, it's just.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I don't know. I wish we could really, I mean, I know we're getting better at understanding it, but I wish we could treat it better. I wish we knew how to treat people's brains in a way that they could feel hope. Again, and then it goes back down to like, you look at the world we're living in and you look at all the cruelty and all of the there's just so many assholes. And everybody laughs at people who are like, no, we should really be nice to each other. It's like, we really need to be nice to each other. Like, the 4 agreements, right? The fourth, be impeccable with your word, because words matter. They affect and they create energy, and it matters how we speak, not only to each other, but about ourselves. It's something that we're really struggling with as a global society.
Look, Kate, I'll fucking try to do better, all right? I mean, you don't have to yell at me.
I just want people to feel good. That's all. Okay, moving on.
All right, you go.
Sherry, thank you for sharing that.
All right, ready? Hi, Kate and Oliver. As I'm listening to the latest email episode, I figured it was my time to reach out and let you guys know how much I genuinely enjoy this podcast. I've always been such huge fans of your family. Did a biography project on Kate in middle school. LOL.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I know.
That's so. Oh my God, I feel more honored about that than anything.
And to hear you guys interact is so refreshing. I catch myself laughing out loud alone in the car, especially when you both break out in singing. Even your ads are so much more enjoyable to listen to than any other podcasts. You hear that, ad people? I have 2 brothers, 2 step siblings, and a half brother who I love so dearly. Aww. But this podcast and all the interviews really has inspired me to repair the strained relationship with my mom. For the first time in many years, I feel like I have a real connection to her, and it has been such a huge relief of my anxiety. Oh. I could go on and on about my family issues, couldn't we all? But I just wanted to say that you guys really do touch lives of the people that listen to you, and it extends even beyond sibling relationships. So thank you for this joyful podcast and your realness and openness. Let me know if you ever decide to interview regular people. Scarlett.
Ooh. Oh, I love
Scarlett,
that.
We're all regular people, except for me, because I'm kind of famous.
I love that. And reconnecting with Mom, I couldn't imagine what that must feel like as a woman. And you know what's funny? I mean, it's not funny. It's real. The mother-daughter relationship is very complicated. It's a really complex relationship. So I have a lot of friends who have hard relationships with their moms. It's like one of those things for me that I'm so focused on, like, I can't create that for Ronnie. I'm just going to let her fly. Like, you know what I mean? You just got to I just want her to feel loved. I want her to be her own being and her own force. And
I know, but might you start off with those intentions, but then shit goes crazy? I'm saying, like, you never know. Like, those intentions, you start out, then all of a sudden Ronnie's on a pole at Crazy Girls at 16, and you're like, what? Get off the fucking pole. Ronnie, Danny, go. She's in Hollywood. Go get her.
Oh my God.
I mean, you just never
Jesus, Oliver.
You never know.
Don't say that. No.
Ronnie.
I
don't. She won't be on the pole.
She's too goofy.
Yeah. She won't be on. I don't think she'll be on the pole.
She's too.
Rio, my daughter will be on the pole. I mean,
Well, I love being on the pole. Let's be honest.
You have a pole.
I have a pole in my bathroom.
In your bathroom.
By the way, I believe that S Factor, Sheila, she has a great documentary out right now on Netflix about what she does, which is all about women connecting to this energy that for somehow has been exploited and, kind of made for men or to be exploited, but actually the importance of feeling your body in that real sensual place and what it does for women. It's amazing. Okay. Article. You know what's so fun? Yesterday, I was sitting in bed at night and I was flipping through Pinterest, which is my favorite thing to do. And I hit on products similar, view products. And there was a chair from Article that came up. It was like a kind of a wicker style chair. And I have to have it. And let me tell you something. It is affordable. It was about $150 or something. I love this chair, and I can't wait to go and buy it. And then I saw all these little side tables, and I also clicked on it, and it went right to Article, and they had all these side tables that were just as good as the $3,000 side table that I was looking at on the Pinterest. And I thought, you know what? Article's where it's at.
I love my Article furniture. I have it on my balcony right here. Outside of my bedroom, I've got a few little pieces down below in my outdoor patio furniture.
Article's new outdoor collection is here. You can shop 3 fresh looks that feature laid-back elegance of loungers and sectionals, and then refined designs, solid teak dining sets, and decor highlighted with pops of color.
There's fair prices. So here's the thing. The quality is really great, and I'm going to tell you why. They cut out the middleman. And they sell directly to you. So there's no showrooms, there's no salespeople, no markups, no retail markups. That's why you're able to get the quality without having to pay the price. You save up to 30% over traditional retail prices. It's fast. There's fast, affordable shipping. It's available across the USA and Canada, and it's free on orders over $999. So Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Go to article.com/sibling, and the discount code will be automatically applied at checkout. So that's article.com/sibling to get $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Put it in, /sibling. Don't forget.
I wanted to read this sad one.
Oh, you did? Okay. Allison erased it. You guys, Allison, our producer, erased the last sad one.
She's like, I can't let Kate cry again. She's like, sad, so we don't need to do this. Okay. Hi, Kate and Oliver. My name is Amy, and I love your podcast. I laugh all the time, and at times your podcast brings me to tears. I was adopted as a baby. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm crying. I'm like Paula Abdul on American Idol. I just cry all the time. Okay. My adopted father passed away when I was 4 years old, and my adopted mom raised me as a single parent. She was beyond amazing and loved me with all of her heart. I had 4 older siblings that were already out of the house when I was growing up. I got along with 2 out of the 4. My mom passed away in 2009, and the 2 brothers that I was closest to helped me get through my grief. 2 years ago, they both passed away within 6 months of each other. I wasn't close to the other 2 siblings, and I felt so lost. Listening to your podcast reminds me of the relationships that I had with my 2 brothers, and it makes me smile. I recently got on 23andMe to see if I had any blood relatives. I found cousins who live in the same city, and we've connected, and it's been so magical and special. They don't take the place of my 2 brothers, but the connection feels the same. I can't help but think that my mom and brothers had something to do with that introduction. Family looks different and feels different for every person. Thank you so much for showing up for us every week and being authentic and open and honest, Amy.
It's happy. It's
It is happy. It is. It's so happy. But
it's happy.
I'm crying happy tears because it shows that how resilient, it's like you go from like the fragility of this sort of like what we're talking about, hopelessness, to we have the capacity to be resilient. It's in there. And I guess I just cry because I love people so much.
No, I know. And you're crying because, Amy, lost her dad, then her mom, then two brothers within 6 months. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like, God, when it rains, it pours. Like, really?
I know.
But also, it also says, like, I say this all the time, like, the missing piece to wellness is faith. And I know people, like, want to separate that because religion or whatever. But honestly, I look at faith should be a part of everybody's wellness, however you find it. It brings us this sort of sense of feeling safe, like the fact that she can really connect and know that deep down that her mom and her brothers had something to do with it. That belief, that faith is bringing her so much, and it's so important. It's so important that we connect to something bigger than us and that we know we're all interconnected. Whether that's through prayer, whether that's through a God or multiple gods or nature, whatever it is. It's like,
I got to start meditating again. It's so hard to fucking do. It's so easy and so hard. I put it off so much.
Why don't you just pray? Why don't you just start praying?
What do you mean praying?
Like
I don't like to pray. I'm not a prayer.
Well, maybe you should try it.
I don't. What am I praying to? Or the only person I talk, the only people I talk to are
pray to God,
I talk to grandma.
Pray to grandma. Pray to whoever.
Well, I don't pray.
I know, but
I'll talk to grandma. I'll be like, Gram, like keep me safe.
All right. Well, that's a prayer. That's a prayer.
Yeah. Thank you, Amy.
Hi, Kate and Oliver. Greetings from Indiana. I've always been a runner. Therefore, I steered away from podcasts for the longest time. Running was my time to escape. However, I recently came across Sibling Revelry and really enjoyed it. Keep up the good work. I am 24 weeks pregnant. It's my first pregnancy for my husband and me. While we are ecstatic, it has been tough. Don't get me wrong. I'm very fortunate and grateful compared to others really struggling. However, I'm dealing with migraines and nausea. I even had a short hospital stint for dehydration weeks ago. Running is currently harder for me because of these things during my pregnancy, so I started to walk. Your podcast is something I listen to as I exercise. It's become that escape for me from the world as I also deal with the anxiety. A lot of that anxiety is stemmed from my first pregnancy during a pandemic. I'd appreciate any tips you have to relax as well. Though my story isn't a heartbreaking one, I want you to know you help me with my struggles every week as a way to get away from the news of the pandemic for some relaxation. I'm sure it's difficult to post every week. Just know your listeners look forward to each episode and appreciate it in our own little ways. I'm going
to let you answer.
I hope you are both safe and healthy. I wish you the best for 2021. By the way, I'm the baby of my family, 2 other siblings. Are you able to tell by my email? Ha. I will continue to tune in even as I start to run again, Betsy. Oh.
I'm going to let you answer this because you have firsthand experience with these things. But I just reading these emails, it's so great because you realize that people are really listening. I know that's sort of crazy to say, but the stupid shit that I feel like I say or that we do actually resonates with some people, and it's surprising.
Ollie, you're not giving yourself really enough credit. Come on.
It's fulfilling. It's really fulfilling. Oh God, it just feels good. It feels good.
If we're going to get out there and talk about anything, it's important to me that we're talking about things that could make people hopefully feel good or connect. And yeah, like we're stupid and we sing and we do all this stuff. But at the same time, we're really curious and we like to find out about, what makes people tick and what makes people happy and where they come from and share those things with others. I mean,
Can I change something? Because no one says this. What if we changed it to like what makes people, instead of tick, what makes people talk? You know what I mean? Like everyone, because tick tock, it's like the tick is the first part, but you can't have the tick without the talk. You know what I mean?
Right. Maybe you should get on TikTok, and then you'll find out.
Okay, let's get back to Betsy. Why don't we answer this question, because she did ask a question.
Oh.
She just was asking for some advice, about anxiety. It stemmed from her first pregnancy with this pandemic going on. Any tips on how to relax? And I'm sure you could help her out with this, since you've had 3 children.
Have I ever? Okay, so here's what I would say about relaxing while pregnant. I have very different pregnancies. So, your state of mind is they say it's a choice, but when you're pregnant, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like it's like your hormones kind of rule the day. And at least for me, and obviously this is just my experience. And I always hate when people offer their, because pregnancies are so different. Like,
sure, but this is you. This is your personal experience.
Right.
This is not saying that this is the way it goes.
For me, with my pregnancy with Ronnie, I made a very clear decision to just relax, meaning like I wasn't going to overexert myself. I wasn't going to pretend like I was going to do a million things when I really just needed to put my feet up. I took care of myself, and I made it about Ronnie. And what I mean by that is that I kind of envision myself as we are just this vessel. And I was similar with Ryder. Funny enough, with Bing, it was a very different pregnancy, but it's like I just kept imagining being a vessel for life. So much so that it was the first time of all my pregnancies that I thought, isn't it weird that there's like a human inside of me? Like I didn't think that with Ryder. I didn't think that with Bing. But with Ronnie, I was like, it's like a person. It's like there's like a being in here. It's so alien and crazy, because I was so connected to her more than even what my needs were. It was all about, in my mind, it was like, whatever I'm feeling is what's in her best interest, is what she needs. And so I was able to kind of tune in and listen to myself, I think a little bit more, it was just a little bit more heightened, because I made a point to do it. And it was also the first time I did yoga. I did prenatal, or I did, what do you call it?
Prenatal yoga, huh?
Yeah. Prenatal.
Oh, in utero yoga.
I did yoga pregnant, and and it was really amazing, because I would have these like very connected experiences. I listened to my body. If my body didn't want to be strong that day, I would be really like mellow. And then after each class, I'd sort of just like tune in to Ronnie. I just did everything I could to chill out. If my feet felt thing, I put my feet up, and I used the excuse of I am pregnant and I'm not doing anything I don't want to be doing. So that is and then there's like some specific things. Yes, like yoga. I would get body pillows. So I had a big body pillow. I would get certain kinds of essential oils that actually made me feel relaxed, that weren't labor inducing. I had these amazing sort of weighted, there's sort of these weighted pouches, almost like eye pouches. You can put them on your eyes, but they're meant to be put on different points on your body, and they relax your central nervous system. So maybe you could look into something like that. Anything that relaxes your nervous system is great. And
I'll say one thing. This is just from the anxiety standpoint, because I've experienced anxiety, and I still do now and again, but I've had major anxiety. There are things you can and can't control, right? So the things that you cannot control, sometimes we focus too much on those things, and it causes us some consternation and anxiety. We should focus on what we can control. The pandemic, there's not much we can do about it except be safe. So as long as we're being safe and we're living our lives, I think it's easier just to let go of certain things. It's like what Kate says, we're in control. We make choices. I would just say to let go.
Ollie, I think that was great advice.
I don't. Can we cut that? Anyway, thank you.
All right. Well, these were really, really great emails this time and very emotional. And thank you guys for reaching out. And please keep reaching out. We love hearing from you. It's so nice to really honestly get to know our listeners. And I think it was Stephanie. You say, let me know if you ever decide to interview regular people. And one of the things Oliver and I were thinking about doing at some point was taking it on the road. And actually, we do want to interview people that aren't necessarily famous, but we want to get out and get more personal with you guys.
That's right.
So
that would be great.
So that's something we want to do. And so anybody who's emailed in, we will let you know when that day comes when we are doing live shows. Mm-hmm. And then maybe Ollie and I will do a little song and dance.
Oh, we've got a whole plan. We've got a variety show
number.
plan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We can bring on a Henson to do some puppeteering.
Yeah. I love it. Be sure to email us because we love hearing from you at siblingsubmissions@gmail.com. siblingsubmissions@gmail.com. Hit us up. We need all your stories. All right.
I love you, Oliver Hudson.
Love you too. Sibling Revelry is executive produced by Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson.
Producer is Allison Bresnick.
Editor is Josh Windisch.
Music by Mark Hudson, a.k.a. Uncle Mark.
If you want to show us some love, rate the show and leave us a review. This show is powered by Simplecast.